Visions of Mana!
Greetings everyone, I am Kazak, the Gaming Vagabond, and today I'll be giving my first impressions on Visions of Mana. Now, I am pretty familiar with the Mana series since I played Secret of Mana and Trials of Mana, which is the new remake. But I'm not a longtime fan or anything like that, I just happen to be acquainted with the franchise. However, this particular game caught my attention because of its vibrant visuals and unique looking characters. Not to mention the gameplay looked pretty fun as well. Fortunately, Square has given us a demo to get a good feel of what the final game is going to be like. And since I have played a good amount of the demo, you're probably wondering whether or not this game is worth trying. Well, let's find out, shall we? So the game starts off with our main party, Val, Karina, Morley, and Hina. At this point in the story, the characters are on some sort of pilgrimage and exploring the different lands to reach their destination. And that's the general summary currently, since the game throws around a lot of these terms and such that it's not exactly clear because we aren't given a synopsis or anything about the characters or any of their motivations. We only get a few snippets and pieces of what the character background is. Now on to the gameplay. If you're familiar with the Trials of Mana remake, then the combat should feel right up your alley. You have the basics like light attacks, heavy attacks, 4 assigned skill slots for your magic and special attacks. Of course, you can use items as well during the battle. In the demo, you have access to only 3 of the 5 main characters, and each of them have different roles and abilities. You could also switch to character classes that not only gives them a new appearance, but new skills and abilities that can be unlocked through the elemental skill tree. The game incentivizes you to experiment with these different classes against enemies and bosses as they have their own resistances and weaknesses. Because of this, combat feels pretty satisfying, especially since there are times where enemies can be pretty challenging to fight against. While this battle system isn't anything new, it's fun and easy to learn, which is more than enough for me to keep playing.
Good now.
The game has a lot of large open zone areas that you can freely explore, do basic little side quests like killing a certain amount of monsters or collect X amount of this material. There's also a small village you run into where you can talk to NPCs, buy items, and weapons from the shops. Graphically, I appreciate just how vibrant and charming this game looks. It has this sort of, I guess you could say, Saturday morning cartoon aesthetic that I appreciate. Speaking of which, the game has a very lighthearted, upbeat vibe to it that may put some people off because some might see it as being a little too childish, but if you're familiar with the series, that's mostly been the style that it's had since the first game. Now, there's some cons that I do have with the game right now. First off is the frame rate. Now, I played this on PlayStation 5, so while I didn't run into any major frame rate issues, there's some points where it does go down and it could be a little jarring, which is really strange to me because I didn't think the game would have these kind of issues, but well, here we are. Then there's the gameplay. Don't get wrong, it's still fun and engaging, but if you already played a lot of action RPGs, this game's combat system probably won't be anything outstanding to you. It does have a bit of that clunky and somewhat slow feeling to it compared to, say, Trials of Mana. The voice acting is also just okay. Sometimes the lines can come off just sounding really flat. However, I do like how Karina has this southern accent and English voiceover. And just to be honest with you guys, I'm kind of a sucker for girls with accents, okay? I'm just saying, okay? But no, outside of that though, the voice acting is definitely much more tolerable than Trials of Mana, where that game's voice acting was so bad, I literally had to put the voiceover to Japanese. I'm not kidding. And that's not something I usually do. Besides that, I also feel that the characters look a little awkward during cutscenes where you can see the characters talking, but the lip syncing is a bit off and the characters don't have a wide range of facial expressions, so it just kind of looks a little weird. Now, granted, it's not a big deal since this isn't some AAA high-budget game or anything, but it is something that could be a little jarring. Outside of that, though, I enjoyed my experience with the demo, and while I don't think I would get this immediately day one, I'm still looking forward to playing more of it and seeing what more that Visions of Mana has to offer. I hope you guys enjoyed my first impressions of the game. I have some more content that I want to cover and talk about at some point in the future, so please stay tuned. Until then, this was Kazak, the Gaming Vagabond, and I'll see you guys on the next journey.